Some opening comments
Okay.
and remarks.
Well, great first OVC win, and first home game win. So it was great to get Dr. Beeler his, first home game win as a president. So, and our fans just really turned out. Is overwhelmed by, the record crowd and just a sea of red. It was just a lot of folks, and they really turned out. Our loyal folks who are always here were here, and the other folks just come out in droves. So, I appreciate our alumni and just our fan base. They did a great job, and they were loud. I mean, it was really, they were into the game, and it was good to see our sororities and fraternities out there. So this is a good showing for the Gamecocks today. I caught the tail end when we come out in halftime of the Southern Show and ballerinas and the cheerleaders. This all the way around. I thought it was a class venue. So hopefully folks seen what kind of product we have, and they'll just continue to come back, and we want to get to where it's hard to find a seat. That's what we want to see. But really proud of our guys. I think we're definitely taking it one step at a time for us. This game 3. And I think you saw a team play today that definitely did not play perfectly, but, they're ready to play. We played like we practiced. This week we had a great week of preparation, and I think that showed. And, it's not like we put all our marbles in the last week and had a letdown this week. No, these guys come to work every day, and I said after Monday's practice, I said we ain't got to worry about it. We're going to be ready to play on Saturday, and we'll move on from this one and we'll go to game 4, and I don't think this much is looking at who we're playing, but how we play, and that's what we're going to stick with. And we did a lot of good things. I mean, other than a blown coverage, I think we gave up 84 yards on one blown coverage defensively, where we didn't get a call right far as what we had called, and blew that coverage, and we'd have held them, probably take that out, maybe one other throw, and we'd held them under 100 yards total offense. So defensively, we did a really good job. Offensively, 576 yards of offense, 350 rushing the ball. It continues to show our strength for our offensive line, defensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage. Because we talked about this week. We got physically whipped 2 years ago by Tennessee State here, and today we held our own and probably got the better end of that deal. Just when you look at the rushing stats on both sides, so it was a very physical game, and we got a few folks banged up. So hopefully we'll be able to get those guys back with us and be ready to play in the second, OVC game on the road. So we'll have a test. Tennessee Martin will be ready to go. Coach Simpson, I believe they were open. You reckon they worked on us any this week? I know they did. So they'll be ready to play. They're a well-coached football team. Going back to this week, take my hat off to Coach Reed and his staff, just class act. We got to pray with them at midfield after the game. So it was a special time for two teams, and everybody just showing a lot of class and congratulatory, and then being able to go over to our band. But just a good day all the way around. Beautiful weather. It was a great day to come out for a fan and come to a game. So it was good to finally play at home. You're just going to play a good football team, but it was good to play in front of our home crowd. I do feel like we have, one of the best FCS venues in the country, and better than a lot of mid-major, atmospheres. So it's big-time football.
On Monday, you essentially issued a challenge to your fans to come out, but I guess that also puts the onus on you for your team to hold up your end, and you could say you've held up your end and more. What does that mean to you, not just for an opening OVC win, but to show people who may not come out very much to say, hey, look at what you helped create, look at what you
No doubt.
helped
Well,
do.
they're part of us. Our crowd, when we play at home, we try to play same on the road, and it's just, our energy, comes from the crowd at home, and the way they're into it. But we did challenge them on Monday, and they responded. I mean, we had folks that probably came to a game today that hadn't been to a game in a long time, and we wanted to play well. We wanted to, play, the same way we played the last 2 weeks, to play the way we had played on the road, and just continue to show people what this team's about. And I think we got a really fun venue, to come and watch. But we issued a challenge and challenged them, and we had a lot of alumni and a lot of student body there. So they're just all fired up, and we want to continue that. And we just want to continue it our next home game, and even when we go on the road. But definitely when we hopefully make the playoffs, play at home in the playoffs, we'll have the same type crowd and it won't drop off. But I gave them a hand. I heard, the attendance record being broke in the fourth quarter, and I turned around and gave them a hand, a standing ovation type deal, appreciatory of our fans. And by no means, comments that I made last week were, some people may have took out of context about, tired of hearing people say, proud of us. We're appreciative of all of the congratulatory offer last week, and our fans being Gamecocks and proud of the way our guys represent them, and that may have got took out of context a little bit. Our support is, better than anybody's support, I believe. But, like I said, folks coming to the game, haven't been in the game in a long time, they just saw what our venue's like, and I think they'll want to come back. And I told them, heck, I'll give you money back if you didn't enjoy it. Now, I don't know how you could have came today and not enjoy what you were a part of, and they're a huge part of it. It's just our guys feed off that, and I think you've seen some of them come in here and talk about, just how the crowd's into it, and it just helps them.
Coach, talking about your offense running over 500 yards today, what are some of your biggest factors in this of your success?
I think it starts up front, and I think both sides of the ball. You see, it starts there, and we're executing really well. These guys, most of these guys have played in this offense for 3 years, so it's like second nature. Everybody knows what everybody's doing. Very seldom do we not get a hat on hat. We talk about a hat on hat in our run scheme and our protection scheme. So we're very veteran up front, and our running backs. If you saw one of the most impressive plays of the day to me that most folks don't even see, but you had Tremaine Pope on a touchdown throw. He steps up and they blitz, and he's just stalemates the linebacker, about knocks him out, in protection. But it all fits together when you got guys giving effort like that and just sacrificing their body. I mean, it's big. And then you got a quarterback like Eli. He just same thing as he did last week, showing a lot of poise. Just runs, field general out there. He just runs the show, and he may had to win interception. He'd like to have that ball back today, but we got down there a lot today and didn't. Still, it goes back to we got a lot of yardage, and the points are not showing how much yardage that we got. We could easily scored a whole lot more than what we did, but it's a good football team. You got to give Tennessee State a lot of credit. They had a lot to do with that. We get it down there, and we wouldn't put it in the end zone. So, like I said, I think that's where it's at, though.
Guys are talking about, I was going to say, what about injuries? Saw Fanning come out, but like y'all said, next man up.
It is, and I think it shows the depth of our football team. D-line wise, banged up. Sigler played. We didn't know how much he would play. Coming off of that high ankle sprain, we didn't know that sometimes that can be a 4 to 6 week deal, and he played 2. So he is. Our trainers have done an excellent job of getting him back in the lineup and being able to play. And we didn't know if we didn't play. It's going to be a game time decision if he was going to play or not play. And he ended up being able to give us some snaps, and we knew it was going to be very limited, what he was able to do today. And Fanning, I don't know. He's been banged up. He missed a lot of camp, being banged up, and I think some of that is just he had never gotten all the way well, to be full speed. So it may be a little bit to do with that. And then Alan Carson's fine. I think he's okay. And like I said, hopefully everybody else will be all right. But we got a lot of depth there, and that's the way we build our football team, to have depth there where we got guys that's like sit next guy up. And heck, you think about the guys who play without. Fanning went out early. Sigler didn't play many snaps. Darius Jackson has a targeting deal, and miss him the rest of the game. He was having one whale of a game, early, So it was, but it showed her depth. The other guys got in and really made a lot of plays.
Fanning seemed to recognize right away.
He did, yeah, he did. I think it's a little bit of maybe MCL deal. I don't think it's anything major, So I think he'll be back.
Darius, that doesn't affect it the next game.
No, it doesn't. It was a first half deal, so he's fine for next week. Been a second half deal, it would have carried over to the next game. But it was a close call. It was a judgment deal, and I went back and looked at it at halftime and stuck with it. I think it's because the helmet came off, and I hadn't seen it myself, but it was close. I've heard split decisions on how it was. It wasn't, but we don't. Definitely don't coach that, and Darius Jackson, just never intentional. That's a hard thing to do. Number one, we're never going to coach, tackling the quarterback below his waist. You can end a guy's career that way, So we're going to stay up on him because we don't want to get into his legs, you know. But it's hard. Okay, so you're giving a target about 1.5 feet, about 18-inch radius that you got to hit him in, and it's moving. You know, so that's a hard deal. So we don't want to tackle him below the waist for sure because we don't want to get in his knees. He can't see you know. And so you're talking about from the belt line to your chest is not a very big area to hit, you know. And I thought he hit him, you know, right there in the chest and slid up. And when the helmet come off, I think the officials had to call it. So, like I said, nothing intentional, and I think, you know, they know that. I hope the kid's okay. I think when the helmet come off, you know, Darius's helmet probably went across his face, and there was some blood there and all that stuff. But like I said, nothing intentional, and I had to play over again. I mean, Darius do the same thing. I mean, it's, you know, you just need to hit him 6 inches lower, you know. But like I said, didn't mean to hit him in the head for sure.
Coach, talk about how crucial it is to off the field on third down. You held Tennessee State 3 of 10 on third down conversion. Just talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's crucial. You know, it keeps the drive going on offense for us, and you know, just defensively, just being able to, you know, get off the field and make them punt the football, and you know, heck, I had a chance to be in, you know, shutting them out on third downs. I mean, just you know, if they got, I didn't know what the stat was. 3 of 10 is pretty dang good. You know, if we continue doing that of getting off the field, our defense will have a chance to be great. You know, and like I said, just our staff does a good job with that. Our guys do a good job with it. They got us a couple times. They got us on a little screen, and yeah, I'm sure it changed our game plan a lot. You know, when they lost their quarterback early, because that kid's going to be really good. Boy, he's you know, redshirt freshman, and he can really throw the football, and you know, so it was unfortunate that he had to go out of the game, you know. But their number 2 settled in, and he made a few plays for them. But I'm sure it changed our whole game plan losing him, and that's the reason why we try to play our number 2 enough, you know, and hadn't been up to the first 2 games. We'd not been able to get Christian in the game. But you know, getting off third down, going back to the third down deal, it's, you know, we build our football team around that. Just, you know, talking about converting third downs on offense and getting off the field defensively. So we put a lot of time into that, you know, just practice schedule wise of practicing that.
Coach, on the heels of that, 7 of 9 in the red zone for you guys. How important is it, even if it's 3 points, to walk away with?
It's big, you know, and like I said, I think we would like to have more touchdowns. We're a little greedy. I expect to score a touchdown every time we get down there, and I'm the world's worst. I get mad when we don't come away with a touchdown when you get it down there. But like I said, that field strengths. You know, and folks spend a lot of time in red zone. Going back third downs, you spend a lot of time in the red zone working too, on red zone defense and red zone offense. But field strengths is a little. You ain't got as much grass back there to make throws, and the coverage can tighten, and you know, so it makes it a little tougher to score. And we played 3 dang pretty good football teams too. You know, and that makes it even a tougher job of getting the ball in the end zone once you get in the red zone.
Speak of Josh's receiving record, he goes over 2,000 today. Just talk about that.
Pretty impressive. Did he break school record? Is that what it was?
Second guy with 2,000 yards.
Second guy with 2,000 yards. Well, as young as he is, you know, he's got another year left to play, and a lot of ball to play, you know, this year. So hopefully he'll be able to break that. But, you know, first thing he told me, somebody had told him, and he said, Coach, I'd just like to tell, you know, everybody just about the record, just to appreciate them, the offensive line, our quarterbacks, our running backs, because he knows this. It's all a part of it. As well as we run the football, it really opens things up for a receiver, you know, in our throw game when you can get one-on-one coverage on the outside. And you got to get safeties in the box against us. You know, it gives you a lot of room out there on the outside to throw the football. But you know, Josh very humble about it and knows that it's a team effort. But I'm proud of it. You know, that's a good thing for him, and you know, a good thing for our offense.
You said that you felt the guys were put Auburn behind on Monday. Were you surprised a little bit about how dominant you seem to be today?
I wish we'd dominated a little more. You know, you just felt like that game could have been, you know, well out of hand at halftime. You know, if we put the ball in the end zone and when we got down in the first half and not turned it over, you know, it could have been over at half. But I give Tennessee State credit for that, you know, but definitely not an emotional letdown or anything like that. And I truly believe, a lot of people talk about it, you know, if you could bottle it as a coach, you could sell it, you know. But I think our guys are bought into the fact of, This game 3, we're going to go on game 4. I mean, I really don't think they worry about who they're playing, and it's because, when you boil the game down, it's so hard to hold yourself to that as a player and as a coach, not to look at who you're playing. Well, does it really matter? I mean, it's all on you about how you play. So, I mean, I thought our guys came to play today. Now, they're going to be mad about, some things that we could have played even better, So, that's the goal is just try to get better every day and let the things haunt you that, and drive you that you didn't do right. Because this team still has a lot of room for improvement. By no means are we tapped out for how well we can play. Because and really you can't look at the score, you can't look at the yardage. There's just things that we could have done better. And we got to keep developing guys too. We got to get guys in the game that, when we put our 2s in or 3s in, that get in that rotation, they can play the same way that our ones. And like our D-line. Right now, we're playing with some 3 guys that are making some plays right now. And like I said, we just got to continue. We've tried to build it that way, and the way we practice, our guys just, they get a lot of reps at practice, and they get to, our 2 and 3 guys get just as many reps as our 1s get, and we practice so fast that everybody gets a ton. You have no excuse not to get any better around our place for people to watch us practice. It's on you if you ain't getting better for sure. So hopefully we'll just keep that blue collar mentality and just continue to come to work.
Coach, you just mentioned being able to get the 2s and 3s some reps. What is it like to be able to get to play them in a game like you did today?
Oh, it's just great. College football, and you're sitting there, and we got to play some scout team guys today. I mean, so it's just fun to see those guys because they work hard, and our scout teams just make our football team. Our scout teams give a great look day in, day out, and we just have an unselfish football team. And our guys have fun going to practice on Tuesdays. And really that's our blue collar day, and they know it's going to be a tough day, and they get out there and get it done. So to get some of those guys in the game, that have to run cards all week, now that we're in the game week situation, it's fun to get out there and watch them play. I was glad to see our second and third string offensive linemen out there and score that last touchdown. Running the football. And see Jaron Johnson and Bo Billups out there and make plays. So it's a great thing to get those guys in the game and watch them play. And that don't happen a lot in college football. It's hard to get those guys in the game. So that time is precious when you get to those stages in the game where you get to play so many folks. We'd love to play more. The first half would have went a little bit different. We'd probably got to play a little more. So hopefully down the line we'll have some of those games.
Chris, some of your teammates are talking about coming into this game. It was especially important to them to be physical and to be physical against Tennessee State. That's always philosophy, but especially after 2 years ago. Could you talk a little bit about how you guys really came out and dominated physically?
Up front, we knew we had to, that's really what's going to determine whether we win or lose the game. If we're not physical with a team like Tennessee State, then they build confidence and they can run the football. And if they can run the football, they're a dangerous football team.
Just talk about coming off such an emotional week from last week, and of course, you guys get moved up to #1 in the rankings and that sort of thing. Obviously, it didn't phase you guys. Your play. Just talk about that.
Our biggest thing this week from Coach Gross and our defensive coordinator, Coach Blackwell, was just showing maturity. Last week was last week, and it's a new week. It's one game at a time. We can't think about it. We're not even allowed to really even talk about it no more around them. But it's all about 1 week at a time. We've created a philosophy through Coach Gross, where we don't even say the names of the team anymore. He just pronounces it's week 3, week 3's team. Next week it'll be week 4. He won't even say who we're playing because really it's all about how we play and not about the other team. If we go out and play to the best of our ability, then we know we'll be tough to beat by anybody. It's really all about how we play, and last week was we treated it the same way. Week 2 didn't discuss really who it was. We discussed what they do on defense and schematically, but that's about it. It's not about who we play. It's about what we do as a team.
Chris, talk a little bit
It's very important. We strive on being number one in the nation at getting off the field on third downs, and Coach Blackwell always that's one of our goals each week: getting off the field on third down and getting off the field on fourth down. If they go for it on fourth down, but it's a big deal to him, and he keeps reiterating it, and it's a goal that we supposed to reach every week, and we usually do.
Well, Michael went out very early, but you guys seem to always just be next man up. Do y'all even talk about that in the huddle? Do you say anything? To lose a guy like that so early?
I mean, like you said, it's got to be next man up. It certainly is a big blow to lose Michael, but he'll be fine though. To know that it's not serious was a good thing to find out. But certainly mid of the game, you can't worry about it. You don't even really have time to talk about it. You let the coaches discuss it or whatever. But it's really next man up, and we have to play to win the football game with whoever we have.
Were you surprised at how you guys happened to handle them? They got 24 yards rushing the whole game.
No, I wasn't surprised, but that's what we even if we give up rushing yards at practice, Coach Blackwell blows a gasket. Like that's one thing we will not do. We will not let people run the ball on us, and he has installed that in our head. And I mean, if you hear anybody on our defense talk, that's the first thing I'll say: stop the run, and we can tee off up front.
Whenever you knock their starter out or start the quarterback out, I mean, did it change anything for you guys? You know, with their backup coming in, I mean, did y'all prepare for him too?
I mean, we didn't really. They both pretty much play the same. Tina's a little bit more of a runner, but we felt like the first quarterback was more of a sitting duck. He would sit there in the pocket, but Tin he's more elusive. He'll run the ball quicker. But it wasn't much of a difference. We didn't change anything. We kept what we was going to do, and we stayed with what we had.
The first half started getting pretty chippy towards the end, and there were a lot of penalties. How did you guys keep your cool?
Just discipline by Coach Gross. That starts with not letting us, really fight at practice. Most teams, you go to, they allow fighting at practice and stuff like that. They say it's a part of the game, but Coach Gross, as soon as camp started, we get in fights, but he stopped it quick and started punishing us for it, and I guess it kind of showed up in the game today.
I know you guys are always a very physical running team, but today especially so. Could you talk about what you saw up front from your guys?
Yeah, the offensive line, they just dominated. Coach always talk about being the most physical team on the field, and I feel like our guys, they really lived up to it today. We ran the ball when we wanted to. We passed the ball when we wanted to. It's all up to the O-line. They work hard, throughout the week, to prepare for Saturday. They did great today.
Did y'all run that option more than normal, or was it just seemed like it broke open for y'all?
Yeah, we run that a lot. So not more than normal, but it was working. So most of the time we kind of go with what's working. And we had some big plays off of us, so we try to stick what we know, what we're good at. So we just kept running it. It kept working for us, and we got a couple yards off of it.
Ruben Aked just tied for a career high, about 10 yards short of a career high receiving yards, including with the hurdle. How do you feel out there?
The game just sounded much slower to me. I think just how much more wise we all are starting to become. But I don't get the butterflies or anything. I'm very confident when I go out there. I'm confident on both sides of the ball. I'm very confident in my quarterback too. So the O-line, as long as they do what they got to do, which as y'all can see, we find the most physical O-line. We can do whatever we want: run, pass, punt, kick field goal. drop the number off. That's it.
I mean, everybody knows going into the season, it was Josh Barnes was the one kind of emerging as one also. So how do you feel knowing the passing game is kind of
I mean,
evolving?
I don't think of myself as a D1. Barge is always going to make plays. You know, we have not only Barge, we have Screws and Keys. You know, I don't think of myself as the number one. I just think of myself as just other receiver, the X, and the Z. You know, other than that, though, just go out there and look for the ball and every week on my team. You know, what I mean, it's one thing when you see Josh catch a pass, and then you're like, okay, yeah, it's my turn. Boom, come on, Eli, let me get that. Boom. So then same thing I know when I catch a pass, Josh is like, oh yeah, bet. Come on. Let me get one too, Eli. So I mean it's just really just like a back and forth thing, but I don't look at myself like that, no.
Eli, what's that like having guys like this catching everything? What all the plays?
Pretty nice. You know, it's fun, make the game a lot easier. You know, having guys you can just put it in the area and they can, you know, make a play for you. Like he said, you know, like he said, he don't feel like he the one. You know, it's just everybody like a piece of a puzzle. You know, we have Ruben, we have Josh, Marquise, everybody do their job. Even if it's just blocking on the outside, you know, they have a job to do and they do it well. So it make my job a lot easier.
Joel, how's the hand?
Oh, my hand is great. They said 2 weeks in the cast. My man is a cartoon character. But yeah, they say I have 2 weeks in it. But it's just a small fracture in my index finger.
Talking about your hand, you had 9 tackles, and it didn't seem like you were even injured at all. Talk a little bit about that.
I don't want credit for any of those tackles. I want to give all those tackles, really, if I could, to D. Wells. D. Wells gets that call from the sideline, calls it out to the defense, gets the strength. I know he has the hardest time relating across the field with the noise, talking to us, getting everybody lined up. He gets us in position to make plays. That has nothing to do with me. If he wasn't out there to get me in position, I would make those plays.
Guys, this is for any of y'all. I started off asking Chris about, this week, such an emotional game from last week with Auburn, and then this week you get the #1 ranking and that sort of thing. I mean, just talk about, obviously, that didn't bother you guys coming into this game. I mean, you just had that business-like attitude. Just talk about that.
Yeah, we left last week. You know, we watched film Sunday. We saw our mistakes. We saw what we did wrong. We saw what we did good. You know, we played a pretty good game. You know, we had a chance to win it. We came up short, but once film was over with, we tried to leave it alone. The only time we really was talking about it when somebody else was bringing it up. But other than that, you know, our focus was Tennessee State. We feel like Tennessee State. I still feel like Tennessee State is a hard team to play. They aggressive. They play fast. So, I mean, we just went into this week just like we were going to any other week. You know, mindset on winning the game of the week.
From a defense standpoint of view, it showed us plays that we can run and plays that we can run better. Plays that really worked and plays that were a little iffy. And the plays that worked, we ran them more, we ran them greatly. We ran them to perfection, actually, because we worked them more that game. And to really, really work them that game and see that it works against a so-called big-time SEC team, you can run them against anybody.
For Joel and Chris, was there any kind of change after Jackson's penalty, per se? I mean, was there anything differently or just going on normal business?
It was really just normal business. But once he went down and that was that freshman, he knew all the plays in his head. Once he's out, their offense was completely shut down.
Did you guys notice the crowd? You guys set a record for largest crowd at a home game. Am I right on that, Greg?
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I've been here only. This is my second season here, but the crowd was rocking. But yeah, I know you liked it too. You liked it. I know it.
Yeah, again, from a defense standpoint of view, that's a big plus for us. Their offense can't even hear the call from the sideline because of y'all.
Get this. Make sure you put it where the fans can see it. Do that every week, and we'll win your national championship.